Hello and good afternoon once again. Today is Thursday, the 10th of June, 2021. So first of all, thank you to Dr. Apisamai for the Thai language briefing. After my briefing, we'll have a Thai language program as well, featuring Dr. Jadet from the National Health Security Office to talk about the insurance and compensation for those affected by vaccination. And we will be having some summary of all these programs for you, for your information in the English language version. So I'd just like to start off by saying that Dr. Pisamai had outlined the approach in terms of the active case finding, which continues in Bangkok and in certain key provinces. As we have talked about quite often, active case finding, sampling of certain specific districts that are at risk. Now, the method that was mentioned was using sentinel surveillance for active case finding, which was actually shown on screen in one of the charts in the Thai language briefing. Now, this sentinel surveillance is actually the monitoring of the occurrence rate through the voluntary network of health professionals, laboratories, doctors, in order to assess the stability of the changes, or the changes in the health levels in terms of the infection rate. So we're using this, and of course all of the data is being integrated and analyzed with the health professionals on a daily basis. All of this in support of the continuous active case finding in the country. So I'll start off with the vaccination progress. We have administered since the 28th of February, and yesterday on the 9th of June, we inoculated 336,674 doses of vaccines, increasing the cumulative number of vaccination to 5.4 million doses, as you see on screen. So of course the numbers will go up and down, hoping that it will reach high numbers, and we'll be able to reach our target of 10 million doses in the month of June. The middle column that you see with 1.2 million, 1.225 actually million, that is the cumulative number since the 7th of June, the first day that we had our mass national inoculation campaign. So we're targeting to vaccinate 712,000 medical personnel nationwide, and over 99% have already received their first dose, while 84% of medical personnel nationwide have already received both doses. So that's a very good rate that we're going in terms of vaccinating the medical personnel in the front lines of this battle. We also intend to give vaccines to 12.5 million people who are at least 60-year-old, and approximately 557,000 of them have already received their first dose, and the number is expected to increase in the days to come. As several recent clusters in Bangkok involves crowded communities, vaccination efforts have therefore been focused in these areas. We'll have some images for you to show about some medical personnel of the Thai Red Cross vaccinating thousands of people in residential areas in the Klong Toei district in Bangkok. And for those of you who live in Thailand, you would know that this district is kind of a congested district, Klong Toei district in Bangkok. So we have some recent images of for you there. So the numbers, I'll move on to the numbers. For today, the 10th of June, 2021, we have new recoveries that exceed new confirmed cases again. That's quite good news, hoping there will be a trend. New recoveries recorded today, we have 3,035 new recoveries. Those discharged, sent home after being treated and cured, 3,035. We have new confirmed case, 2,310 new confirmed cases. The active cases still being treated currently is 46,876. If you've been watching the briefing on a daily basis, you'll notice that this number is steadily getting lower. New fatalities, quite a number today, at 43 new fatalities, making the cumulative 1,375. just touching upon some of the priorities that we have been going through. Firstly is, of course, with markets, and Dr. Apisamai talked about this. Most recently, in the span of the past 2 weeks, actually, we have checked on approximately 62 markets in the Bangkok area. And if you recall, the municipal authorities, for example, of Bangkok, have been looking closely into the various markets. So in the past 2 weeks, around 62 markets have been checked and have been looked into. Around 5 of these markets have not passed the standards set, and of course, improvement is forthcoming. Now, this is only in the past 2 weeks. In total, there had been a total of 289 markets already. I'm sorry, 379 markets that have been checked on already in the Bangkok area, and 289 have already passed the standards set by the municipal authorities. So quite a good number, a good implementation, good enforcement of the various health standards in the wet markets in Bangkok, which is of course very important because those are some of the clusters have come from those particular areas. As well as prisons and penitentiaries. If you recall, in the past few weeks, the numbers were quite high in the prisons in Thailand. Right now, those numbers are getting lower because of the active case finding, because of the authorities addressing the situation directly in the prisons and penitentiaries. So, because the Department of Corrections have continued to step up the measures to curb the spread among inmates following the recent outbreaks in the past weeks. So these initiatives include, among others, the conducting of the RT-PCR testing for all inmates before sending them into the quarantine area. And if infection is detected, individuals will be sent to the hospital. Secondly, vaccinating inmates and officers at prisons across the country. That has been going on. Thirdly, inmates who are due for release will have to be in quarantine before they leave the penitentiaries as well. So that's a good update because the numbers in that area in particular have seen a steady decrease already in the prisons and penitentiaries. Dr. Apisamai also spoke just now about the opening up of schools, particularly Thai schools. So for your information, I believe that there might be some foreign nationals, foreign teachers teaching in Thai schools as well. So the Ministry of Education has made the final decision for schools to open for the first academic term on Monday, the 14th of June, 2021, which is next week, next Monday. But for the maximum and strict controlled area or the dark zone area, such as Bangkok, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, and Samut Prakan, on-site teaching is not permitted in accordance with the CCSA's directive. Instead, teaching will be conducted online or using documents distributed through parents. And for the remaining other provinces outside of the dark red zone, on-site teaching and learning could be conducted as deemed appropriate by the respective provincial disease control committees, provincial disease control committees, which is chaired by the governors of each province. And if approved, permitted by such committee, it will be conducted under strict COVID control measures. So that's about the schools that are about to be opened next week for the Thai schools across the country. So I'd just like to draw your attention to just some smaller pieces of information before closing that might be interesting to the English language audience today. The upcoming World Blood Donor Day, which falls on the 14th of June as well. It's an opportunity to raise global awareness of the life-saving nature of blood. And this year's theme is Give Blood and Keep the World Beating. Of course, we have to continue to cooperate and sacrifice a lot to keep the world beating and rid Thailand off of the COVID. So Thailand is participating in this event, and since the situation has affected a number of blood donors, the Thai Red Cross Society is inviting those interested to donate blood to mark this occasion from the 12th to the 17th of June at the National Blood Center of the Thai Red Cross Society on Ongri Dunang Road in Pathumwan district in Bangkok. And the center could accommodate 1,500 donors daily, of course, with the important distancing measures. And this can comprise of 1,000 walk-ins and another 500 donors with advanced online appointments through the bdbooking.nbc.in.th website. So basically, this is what I have for you for today. We'll start off first with the vaccination numbers. We'll keep you informed, updated about that. As you can see, there is a good trend of more recoveries than new confirmed cases. And hoping that there's no relation actually, but if you do the math, that means that the cumulative number or the active cases still being treated will be getting lower in due course. And of course, in addition to the vaccination drive for this month of June. So thank you very much for your attention, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Sawasdee krap.